Hi, this is Falana Polite, and this is my lesson plan project. This lesson plan was developed for my third grade students. It covered English language arts, social studies, and technology standards. Students will determine the main idea and details. They will describe the character traits of the character in a story, which for this unit we focused on Paul Revere. They will describe how Paul Revere displayed positive character traits of cooperation, diligence, and courage. And for the net standards, students will use critical thinking skills, communicate information, and use different technology. For this assignment, students are learning about Paul Revere and his contributions and his character traits. The three tools used were the online level library at eduplace.com. We listened to the biography on Paul Revere. Students filled in a 5W chart describing an event that related to a character trait they felt described Paul Revere. Students researched the internet, and I gave them websites that they were allowed to search to gather information. Here is the lesson plan, and here are the websites that I gave permission to my students for my students to access to conduct further research. With that information, students used it to create a PowerPoint presentation or a podcast. They also created a word wall using the computer program Wordle. They were assigned to find 5 character traits to describe Paul Revere and use the computer program Wordle to create a word wall. Students were also given a copy of a list of character traits to help them. Here is a list of sample character traits to give the students some ideas as they created their presentations. This is the graphic organizer I gave to my students to fill in as they listened to the biography on Paul Revere. They had to choose one character trait and an event that took place in the story to support the information on Paul Revere. Students had to use critical thinking and higher order thinking skills for this lesson. They evaluated and analyzed Paul Revere to determine his character traits. Students collaborated and communicated with each other as they used technology and put together their presentations. For differentiation, students were allowed to use the Web 2.0 tool they felt comfortable using to create their presentation. Struggling students worked in small group or with a partner. Students were able to listen to the interactive biography online, and it was read to them. All expectations were clearly expressed before the directions were given. All students were given equitable access to the technology. I checked out a cart with laptops to ensure my students had technology at any time during this project. We also have 4 computers in the room. This is one PowerPoint presentation that one student completed in the class. The students had to not only put together a PowerPoint presentation, but they also had to use photos from Flickr. This is one rubric used. This is the presentation rubric that was used. Overall, the lesson went very well. My students loved learning about American heroes. They collaborated and worked on research on Paul Revere with a partner or in small group. The transition was challenging, so in the future, I would make sure that my students started off in a group and they would end in a group.